going to show you how to make a salve that's been made for centuries by the Simpler's method. It's not exact, but it works very well, and it's good for healing burns, bruises, sunburn, chap places, and it has 4 main plant ingredients in it. It has calendula, comfrey, St. John's wort, and plantain. All of these have very healing properties for the skin, and you have to be careful to clean the cut first because comfrey will heal right over a dirty thing and then it'll get infected. So the first thing we do is collect the plants. These are wild crafted and from a garden that's organic. And the Simpler's method involves taking either the fresh or the dried plant and putting it loosely in a jar. This is probably not quite enough for this jar, but I wanted to show you how to do this. And then you cover it with organic virgin olive oil. And you would put more plant all the way to the top here, but just loosely so that you can shake it every day or every other day while it's sitting for 2 weeks to a month. And you want to be sure that the oil covers the plant. Then you put the lid on and put it in a place that you walk by so you can shake it like this. This is nice and loose so it can move around. And then I write the date right on the jar because you can mix your lids up. So I put the date on there, and then I put what it is, even though I know that this is calendula. But if someone else is doing the plants, then they'll not be confused. So that sits for 2 weeks to a month. I usually leave it a month or a little bit more. You don't want to leave it too long or the plants start to disintegrate. And then you have to decant separate the herb from the oil and then use the oil in the salve. So these are finished oils. This is finished calendula and comfrey and St. John's wort, which is this plant, but believe it or not, it turns red. And you can always tell St. John's wort out in the field when you press it between your fingers. It makes your fingers purple, and that's why the oil turns red. And this is a finished, no, not finished, it's just started. The plant, I put the dried plantain in here and shake it up. And I don't use jars much bigger than this because they're hard to shake if they're a lot bigger. So this is how we decant the oil. And remember that we have taken either dried or fresh, and it's best to harvest any herb early in the morning and put it into oil loosely so we can shake it. And we've let it sit for 2 weeks to a month, and it can be in the sun or not in the sun. It works both ways. Olive oil is very stable. It won't go rancid in the sun. And then this has been filled up, and I've taken a strainer and a funnel, and this is how I get the plantain out of the oil. You just pour it gradually. And usually I oil every wooden thing I have because I have oil all over my hands when I make salve, so that's a good use of the extra oil. Because at the end I usually take it out and squeeze it because there's a lot of oil left. I won't do the whole thing, but you see like this? This is how you get a lot of oil all over everything. And so now we have a jar of plantain oil, and I won't waste this. I'll squeeze it out later. And I write again on here, plantain with the date. I already wrote it on there. So I know when this oil was made, and I know how old it is, so I can use it in salve in order that it was made. And it keeps very well for a long time. So that's how you decant